Om Shri Sai Ram. Offering on this most auspicious occasion of Diwali, offering my humble pranams to the divine light in all of us, our beloved Bhagwan Shri Satya Sai Baba. A warm welcome to all of you for the 63rd edition of the online Samarpan series. Dear brothers and sisters, let us begin the session with invoking Bhagwan's presence in this session and in our hearts. Sai Ram, everyone. We are truly blessed by Bhagwan to have our divine Samarpan session on the eve of the most auspicious festival of our motherland, Diwali. It is a privilege and honor and blessing from Bhagwan that we have one of the stars of his galaxy to share his experiences and learnings from the Divine Lotus Feet with us today. I invite Sri Nagesh Dhakappa to please join. I invite Sri Nagesh Dhakappa to this session. A brief introduction for all of you who may not know this esteemed personality. Sri Dhakappa hails from Sirsi in North Canara, Karnataka. He completed his schooling in Sirsi, subsequently graduating in BE Civil Engineering from Manipal Engineering College. Sri Dhakappa was inspired and guided by his mother to come to Bhagwan's fold in 1968, and since then has relentlessly been serving the divine mission in various roles. Under the divine direction of Bhagwan, he was appointed as the district president of North Canara in 1981. Subsequently, he also joined the state trust as a member in 1986. The crowning moment came in January 1988 when Bhagwan himself appointed Sri Dhakappa as the state president for Karnataka. At that time, he was only 38 years old and became the youngest serving state president. In August 2020, he hung up his boots as state president after a long innings of more than 3 decades, during which he was blessed by Bhagwan to be instrumental in setting up 87 Sri Satya Sai Seva Kshetras, 61 Gram Seva Kendras, 15 Satya Sai schools, and adopting around 135 villages all over the state of Karnataka. Currently, Dhakappaji continues to serve the divine mission as a member of the executive committee of the Sri Satya Sai Global Council. I request Sri Dhakappaji to please share his thoughts, experiences, and learnings at the Divine Lotus Feet. Sai Ram.
Om Shri Sai Ram. My most humble pranams at the Divine Lotus Feet of our most beloved Bhagwan, Sri Satya Sai Baba Varu. On this auspicious occasion of Deepavali, I wish to offer my prayers to Swami on behalf of all of you for his grace and blessings on all of us. I wish to thank brothers and sisters from Sai students group from Mumbai who have given this opportunity to me to speak to you all on this auspicious occasion. 23rd October and Deepavali, these two dates are very significant in my life. That is the reason when Brother Varun Talreja called me and wanted me to share my experiences, I immediately agreed. The reason I would like to share with you, on 23rd of October 1968, exactly 54 years back on this day, Bhagwan visited the North Canara district of Karnataka state. Many of you are maybe aware that it is a small forest district with very few towns and all that. And those days, way back in 68, it was not very well developed. That forest district Bhagwan visited in his lifetime only once, and that was on 23rd October 1968. And that day happened to be the first day after the Deepavali festival. That was the Padya, when our Gujarati brothers and sisters celebrate their new year. That was the day when Bhagwan visited. Now, that was a visit, week-long visit by Bhagwan for the first time to the North Karnataka districts of Karnataka state. When he started from Prashanti Nilayam along with Sri Kasturiji, Baba asked Kasturiji, Kasturi, this week-long tour, 8 to 10 days that we are taking up in North Karnataka, we should name this tour. And when Kasturiji prayed to Swami, Swami, you have to only give the name to this tour. He said, this is Amarapuri's Ananda Yatra. I still do not know why Swami called North Karnataka district as Amarapuri. But one thing I know, this visit of Bhagwan had thousands and thousands of people who got inspired by Bhagwan. Even today, North Karnataka, these 4 districts, have thousands of devotees of Bhagwan. Swami came to Dharwad at the beginning of this trip, and he stayed with the Vice Chancellor of the Karnataka University in Dharwad in his campus. Dr. A.S. Hadke was the Vice Chancellor at that particular time. And this Deepavali is significant because my mother had the first darshan of Baba on that day, Deepavali day, I think around 21st of October, at Dharwad. So that is why it is very significant. Now, on 23rd October, I still remember Bhagwan started his tour and came to Sirsi from Dharwad. I would like to share a small experience what happened during that visit to Sirsi. Swami reached that small town of Sirsi around 11 o'clock in the morning, and about 4,000 to 5,000 people had gathered. Those days, there was very little knowledge about Swami, though there were many devotees. Still, there was a gathering of about 4,000 to 5,000 people. And the organizers had created a small stage for Swami with a covering. However, the entire 4,000 to 5,000 people were seated on the ground, and there was hot sun over their head. Swami came, went on the stage, and then he looked around the entire people assembled there, and he was feeling sad that they are sitting in the hot sun. You know how compassionate Bhagwan is. He just announced immediately. Normally, Swami used to give divine discourse and then sing a bhajan, as you are all aware. That day, he changed the system. He said, today I will sing a bhajan first, and then I will give my divine discourse. And Swami sang a bhajan. When Swami started singing the bhajan, immediately the atmosphere changed. Suddenly, a lot of clouds came along the sky, and the whole atmosphere became so cool and very calm. You know, people were very, very happy. And Swami said, when he began the discourse, he said, see, when you sing a bhajan for just a few minutes, the entire discomfort of the heat has gone away. what if you chant bhajans all your life? So this, by saying this, he narrated the significance. He stressed upon the significance of singing bhajans to the vast multitude of devotees assembled on that particular day. From Sirsi, he moved on to a small visit named Avarsa. Avarsa is a village where he visited the residence of my father-in-law, late Shri Vishwanath Vaman Shetya. He was a forest contractor and staying there. He was a leading forest contractor. And later on, Swami, after the visit to his place, Swami gave him the opportunity to do a lot of this wooden work that in Prashanti Nilayam that has been done, especially the Gopuram gate door, what you see, very big gate, subsequently Prashanti Mandir doors, entire complex, whether it is Anandpur College or Vrindavan campus or entire Prashanti Nilayam campus, all the residential quarters, even the university, which is there in Prashanti Nilayam, the woodwork, the frameworks, everything was, my father-in-law was very privileged to get it done under the divine guidance of Bhagwan. Such a great privilege Swami bestowed upon him. Then that evening, Swami visited Karwar. Karwar is the district headquarters for the North Kannada district. And that visit is still to be remembered by all the residents of Karwar even today, because that meeting was arranged on a sea beach, the entire sea beach of Karwar, which is called the Ravindranath Tagore beach. And the entire beach was filled with people. And I still remember, and you know, when I remember the first sentence Swami started the divine discourse, you know, it makes us feel so excited and happy. Swami said, on one side, in Kannada, he said that, I will tell it in Kannada and I'll translate it in English. Vandu kadege jalasagara, vandu kadege janasagara, madhyadalli adhyatmika rasasagara. Swami said, on one side, the ocean of water on one side, the sagara means ocean filled with water. On other side is the Karwar town filled with people, Janasagara, that ocean of people. And in the center is this beautiful Adhyatmika Rasasagara. That means spiritual ocean is in the middle. You know, people still remember the divine discourse Swami gave. And it was such a powerful divine discourse which Swami gave. That is why even today, as I'm talking to you, in entire district, people are celebrating Bhagwan's visit 54 years back. 4 years back, we had a wonderful Golden Jubilee celebration, which was attended by Brother Ratnakar, Managing Trustee of the Central Trust, and our All India President, Nimish Pandyaji. Also, our Speaker of the Karnataka Assembly at that time, Shri Ramesh Kumarji. That is the time we dedicated the medical bus for the first time to that district. That itself is a big story and a miracle. I would not like to go into that right now. Now, after this preliminary narration, I would like to go into my experiences with Bhagwan, which you must be waiting to listen. There may be many experiences which may be common, which I would have shared, but I request your indulgence to please listen to it. Yeah? And the 54 years that I've spent with Swami, I have broadly divided into 4 sections. The first section is from 1968 to 1978. In this 10 years, this decade was totally personal experiences. There was nothing organization. I was not a member of the organization at all. I was totally, it was guided in my personal matters by Swami, personal interviews. The second was 1978 to 1988, the second decade, whereas although along with a lot of personal interactions and personal and our family marriages, etc., Swami also inducted me into the organization, made me district president, made me the trust member, and finally in 1988, the state president. The third part, which I have divided in, is the 1988 to 2011 when Bhagwan Samadhi. That is the period when I had to shoulder the responsibility as the state president of Satya Sai Seva organizations in Karnataka. I would like to narrate my experiences in that respect. And finally, post Mahasamadhi from 2011 to 2022, how we experienced Bhagwan's omnipresence, omniscience, and omnipotence. So broadly, in each of the decades, I would like to share with you a few experiences for the benefit of the listeners. Now, Swami always used to tell us, I give you what you want so that you really want what I have really come to give you. So Swami never asked us to suddenly start doing bhajans or nagar sankirtans or spiritual sadhana, japa, tapa, dhyana. Instead, he asked us what is our problem. It is in the case of every single devotee who has gone to Bhagavan. First, so Bhagavan guided him in his personal matters, looked after his welfare, solved his problems. Then only slowly, he inducted them into the spiritual way of life. It happened in my case also. I remember in 1968, I was in the first year of engineering. 1 month after my Bhagavan's visit to our district, we went to Prashanti Nilayam a few days after the birthday celebrations in 1968. That was my first visit. I had, briefly, I would like to mention, in 1966, I had heard about Baba when I was in my SSLC. And then my father died that year at the time of my exam. And subsequently, because of my father's desire, I had to go to Bombay to study. 2 years of my first year science and inter science, I studied in Wilson College in Bombay. And after these 2 years, I had to come to Manipal for my engineering course. These 2 years, I did not hear much about Swami, and whatever little I knew also was forgotten. 1968, when my mother first had the darshan of Baba, she insisted with me that let us go to Prashanti Nilayam to have Baba's darshan, sparshan, and sambhashan. I was not very enthusiastic and keen. I told my mother I would not like to go. But because of her insistence, we went to Prashanti Nilayam and I accompanied her. My first interaction with Swami is very memorable. I was sitting for darshan, and those days, Prashanti Nilayam, we were sitting on the veranda right away because there were very few devotees. And I was sitting, and Swami came out in the morning. He used to come out very early morning for darshan. When he came, he was coming very near to me. My heartbeat started beating so faster. I was not able to control the emotions. And he came and stood right in front of me and said, looked at me in my eyes and said, you didn't want to come to Parthi. Why did you come? I had no answers. And when I saw Baba, I really felt, he only brought me to Prashanti Nilayam. And same day, first interview I had along with some people from my town who had come. All the men from our Samiti had come there. And Swami said, you join them and come for the interview. So that was my first interview. 2 days later, I had another interview with Swami along with my mother and my family. And same day, another interview at 11 o'clock. That was in the room opposite to the interview room. I don't know whether those of you who have visited Prashanti Nilayam, where we enter the mandir from the backside, to the left, there is a room there, which many of you would not have seen inside. And Swami gave me the third interview in that room. I would like to briefly say, in my first interview, Swami showed me the first miracle I had seen of Swami. There was a family with a small child, and which the family wanted the child to be, the ears to be pierced. And the child was in deep sleep. Swami created 2 earrings, showed it to me, and asked me, because he knew that this engineering student has to be shown some miracle. So Swami looked at me and asked, these are earrings, no? I am going to pierce it in the child's ears. What will happen? I said, what a silly question Baba is asking me. Swami, the child will cry. It will have pain because once you pierce it, it will start crying. Swami said, yes, will it cry? I said, yes, Swami, most certainly it will cry. And Swami just pierced both the earrings in the child's both ears, and that child did not move also. Now it was Swami's turn to look at me. What happened? Why didn't the child cry? So that was the first miracle I saw Swami, and I was clean bold. So subsequently, in my second interview, very significant interview, Swami told me 3 things. The first was, he asked me, where is my father? And I started crying because I had no father. Somebody tried to answer. Swami said, keep quiet, let him only answer. So when I could not answer, Swami looked at me and said, I know you do not have father, but those people who do not have their father, mother, I am their mother, I am their father. And from today, I will look after you like your own father. This promise Swami kept up till the end, till he was physically present. Even now he is looking after like that, the promise that Swami made to me. The second promise that Swami made to me on that day was, he created Vibhuti, rubbed on my hands and said, from today onwards, you will do very well in your engineering. You will go from success to success. And in my final year engineering, I was the only student who got first class with distinction in the Mysore University exam of final year engineering. And the third and most significant Swami thing that Swami said was, when is your marriage? He asked me. I was very shy. A 18-year-old boy, Swami is asking, when is your marriage? And I just could not answer. I kept quiet. Swami went on repeatedly insisting and asking me, when is your marriage? When is your marriage? Just to get rid of the situation, get wriggly out of the situation, I told Swami, the moment I complete my studies, I'll get married. He said, correct? After your degree, you will marry? I said, yes, Swami. I will only perform your marriage. That time I did not know. In 67, Swami had told my wife, who was only 12-year-old, in the interview room, he said, I will perform your marriage. And just like your elder brother who had joined engineering that year, your husband also will be an engineer. My dear brothers and sisters, I had not joined engineering, and Swami had told my wife that your husband will be an engineer. And the final point in that, the third interview, because I had gone to Parthi only with one desire, that I wanted to see my father. Somebody had told me that Swami will show people who have passed away, who are no more in this world. But when Swami repeatedly asked me, what do you want? Tell me, what do you want? Tell me. 25 times at least he must have asked me. I said, Swami, I want only your grace and blessings. Because now that you have told me that you are my father, you look after me, that desire is not there. And finally, Swami created a locket and gave me, and that was the end of the interview. Now, after 54 years, I still wonder if that day I had asked Swami, probably he would have most certainly shown me my father in that small room, behind the small curtain in that interview room, opposite to the interview room, which is there now, right now, opposite side. Anyway, this was the most significant interviews. And the next 5-6 years, Swami, I only had 2-3 darshans, but nothing significant. The turning point came in 1973 when I completed my engineering, and Swami sent word that now I told my mother, he has completed his engineering, let us perform his marriage. You please bring him. And I was very much reluctant, because I had just joined in an engineering company to work. I was on a stipend. I was not prepared to get married. But we had to listen to Swami. I went there, tried to convince Swami. I said, Swami, you can select any girl. I will marry that girl. But time frame is mine. I want to marry after 3 years. But Swami kept insisting with me, I will not select the girl. I will show the girl to you. I'm showing this girl to you, because their family was also there. To say yes or no is your prerogative. Time frame is mine. Because he is beyond time. He is Kalaya Nama, Kalatitaya Nama, Kala Kalaya Nama. He knows what to be done. So finally, when I said yes to Swami, he said, that was sometime in March 73, he said, next month, April 25th, Akshar Tatiya day is your engagement, and immediately thereafter is your marriage. So Swami did not listen to me at all, to my objection. He said, time frame is mine. I will decide when, what to be done. And finally, on 25th April, Swami performed our engagement. And that day, brothers and sisters, you will not believe, Swami spoke to us in that entire engagement ceremony for almost 3 hours. We went inside the engagement in the interview room at 8 o'clock in the morning. When we came out, it was around 11:15 that day. He spoke to us at length about Ramayana, how Rama, Sita should conduct ourselves. He guided us so much. I will never forget. There are very, very memorable moments in my life. And after the marriage, Swami created a beautiful Mangal Sutra. So many other gifts Swami gave. I do not want to go into the details. But he performed our marriage on 18th of May, 1974 in the summer course pendal in Vrindavan. I must mention one thing here. Swami was in Bombay in Dharmakshetra because normally anniversary of Dharmakshetra around 11th May. Swami was there up to 15th. Suddenly there was an all India strike of railways, airlines, etc. Swami was not in a position to return to Bangalore. And brothers and sisters, you will not believe, Swami drove down all the way from Bombay to Vrindavan just for the sake of our marriage. And that also Swami used to travel in a small Fiat car those days, not even a big comfortable car. And the highways were also not so good those days. When I remember those days, the hardship that Swami took for us, I get moved. There was no need for Swami to do all that, but he came all the way and then made all arrangements in a single day for our marriage. Entire arrangement was done by Swami, and we did not have to do anything, and everything was done by Swami, including arranging the lunch, priest, everything was arranged by Bhagwan Baba only. And that day after the marriage, in the afternoon, Swami told me, you are not supposed to go anywhere, because I wanted to go being a civil engineer to Middle East or take up a job to start my career. He said, you stay back in India only. So specific instructions Bhagwan gave, because he knows our future situation, how we have to do, what we are supposed to do, because he knows what he has to give us, so that we really start knowing what he has come to give us. And till then, I always took Swami as my guru. I never believed as Swami as divine. The first experience when I understood Swami as the divinity came 1 year later. The Mangal Sutra that Swami created during my marriage for my wife, they were in 5 pieces, tied in 5 threads. And Swami had asked me to tie it around her neck during the marriage ceremony. And Swami blessed us with Akshata. He created everything and all that. And Swami told, after 1 year, you change this into a gold thread or whatever, and put these 5 pieces together. In 1975 August, exactly 1 year, 2 months later, our in-laws and their family had come to Goa. I was working in Goa that particular time, and I had forgotten what Swami had instructed. Swami gets very upset when we are negligent about the instructions Swami always gives us. And one day, in Goa is a small state, it is part of Maharashtra, because you all work together, Maharashtra and Goa. In Goa, we were staying in Madgaon, and that day we went around all the temples, various temples across Goa, and came back to the same spot in Madgaon that evening. And suddenly my wife said that Mangal Sutra, all the 5 pieces thread were there have fallen off. We were really very much shocked. What happens when the Mangal Sutra gets lost? And we were very much worried. My father-in-law wanted to immediately leave for Parthi and all that, but we could not do. Finally, we started searching in the taxis, cars that we had engaged here and there. Whole day, where it would have fallen, we didn't know at all. So my father-in-law, mother-in-law, both of them were very upset, and they went to the hotel room upstairs, and we kept searching. Suddenly, after 5 minutes, somebody came running and said, all the Mangal Sutra were below the pillow in their room, as if somebody has kept it one inside the other. About a month later, when we went to Puttaparthi, the moment we entered the interview room, Swami took me to task. I had told you to take care of that Mangal Sutra. 1 year later, tie it down properly, get it tied by a goldsmith in a proper manner so that it remains safe. But your negligence, everything fell off in different places. I had to immediately rush to these spots to pick them up and bring them and keep them in that room in your father-in-law's room. He didn't keep it in our room. If he had kept it in our room, we would have thought that by mistake we would have kept or fallen. He kept it in our in-laws' room. That is the day, brothers and sisters, I first realized Swami's omnipresence, omnipotence, and omniscience. Since that day, I have never looked back. I always firmly believe that Swami is divine. That's why subsequently, I never neglected any sentence, any instructions given by Bhagwan. I always followed in total obedience. After 50 years, one thing I would like to share with you, whenever I have listened to Bhagwan in totality, we have always benefited. Now, there is already enough time I've spent on these preliminary things. Then one more thing I would like to say in the first decade, still in the first decade, one most important thing that he did was solving our family problems. I will not go into the details, but in 1976, after my first son was born, I went to Swami because Swami had said that he will name my son. That Swami told that first you have to take care of your family, your business. There were a lot of issues. You go and resolve those issues. I thought I can get it done by consulting some elders and all that. So I consulted various elders, relations, some of my father's friends, one of them was a judge of the Bombay High Court. And I consulted our business associates in Mumbai because we were dealing in spices. Our associates were in Bombay. We had a lot of business connections in Bombay. I consulted all of them. This was sometime in 1975, January, 1976, January. And when I went to, and after all that, I could find that we could not solve the problem. So finally getting resolved to the fate that the problem cannot be solved. In August, when I went to Swami for seeking a date for the naming of my son, the moment I entered, Swami told me a sentence which I will never forget. Oh, you have gone around the whole world trying to solve your problem. Nothing happened, no? Nobody could help you. Now listen to me. I will solve your problem. And he instructed me exactly what all to be done. You do this, you do this, you do this. He gave instruction 1, 2, 3, 4. And it was not possible to resolve it that way. So being immature and inexperienced, I blurted out, I said, Swami, this cannot be solved in this manner. Swami became suddenly very angry and stern. And he told me, just listen to what I'm saying. You do this and then come back to me. Brothers and sisters, you will not believe I did exactly as Swami said, though I was not convinced in doing that, and the problem got resolved. When I went back to Swami at Prashanti Nilayam, just before Ganesh Chaturthi, Swami, the moment I entered, Swami asked, didn't I tell you it will get resolved? How it got resolved? You know, these are all experiences which made my faith very firm in Swami's divinity. You know, these were the major issues that Swami resolved. Now, going forward, after that, in 1978 to 88, Swami performed a lot of marriages in the family. Each marriage, I can go on narrating for 1 hour, but I would not like to go into the details. But brief summary, I will say, Swami always expected us to follow 4 or 5 main points while going into the marriages. One is, he said, consent of the parents is most important. You should not get involved in any alliance without the consent of the parents of both sides concerned. Secondly, in my marriage, as also in the marriages of all my brothers and sisters or my brother-in-laws and my sister-in-laws, Swami said, no dowry, no give and take, nothing should be done. Third, he always insisted on sharing the expenses. I know what happens in the Indian marriage systems. The bride side has to share all the expenses. Swami said, no, both sides should share the expenses. And I would like to mention here, in all the marriages that Swami performed, we followed this system. So much so, even when my sister's marriage had to happen in 1988, as blessed by Bhagwan, we insisted, no dowries, no thing. Voluntarily, whatever we want, as per our happiness, whatever our desire, we would like to make things available. You know, these were 4 or 5 points which Swami insisted and we followed. I think if everybody follows this system, their life in our society will be much better. Because in my engineering college, when I joined 1968, there were boys from Andhra, Bihar, and all that. Their share market in the dowry marriage system had gone up because of the heavy dowries they were demanding those days. Another important thing I would like to say, how Swami removed my superstition while conducting all these marriages. Swami had told me to get proposals for brothers, for the marriages of brothers and sisters. I used to carry all the proposals after all the horoscopes, etc., etc. And Swami will enter, once I enter the interview room, Swami will go through and all that. And he used to make fun of me. Open your Ramayana and show me. So I will go and opening each horoscope, each proposal. Swami will say yes, no. Sometimes he sees, sometimes he will not see. And then he knew my superstitious beliefs. I used to go to a lot of these priests and astrologers for showing the horoscopes. I was crazy about astrology. And Swami used to make fun of me. Swami used to tell my mother, this son of yours is crazy after astrology. He will be always going to this priest, this astrologer, that astrologer, and all that. Finally, when the right time came in 1980, just in 1987-88, just before Swami made me a state president, my sister's marriage was fixed. When I went for the final fixing of the marriage, I had to ask Swami about some astrological predictions I had received. And that day, Swami said, enough is enough. I have to correct this fellow. So Swami took me inside room. There is an outside interview room and there is an inside room. He took me in that room. Brothers and sisters, I still remember very distinctly, my right hand, he just caught hold of with his left hand. And with his right hand, he raised his fingers and said, listen once for all. I am telling you today, all your navagrahas are in my palm. All the navagrahas are in this palm of mine. You only conduct yourself as per my guidelines. How Swami wants us to conduct, we should follow his directives, his guidance, his what Margadarshana he has given. And all the navagrahas, I will take care myself. Don't worry about that. And that was the last time I went to any horoscope reader or astrologer or soothsayer or anything. I didn't go to anybody after that. Because Swami had very, very firmly had guided me. Because I always felt that any astrologer can tell you your past till that moment, but nobody could predict your future correctly. Only Swami gave us the correct guidelines. Now, I will move to the most significant, another significant part was in 77 summer course, just before the 78 first decade. What happened was Swami insisted on, in January 77, I had been to Prashanti Nilayam. Swami said in the summer month, Swami used to conduct summer courses, you must come for the summer course. And when Bhagwan insisted, I only said, Swami, they will not give me 1 month leave and I will not be able to attend. Swami insisted, you must come what may. Your leave and all other issues, I will take care myself. And I said, Swami, definitely I will try. And when the summer course time came, I spoke to my resident engineer. I was in Goa working with Dempo Engineering Services, who were taking care of the EPC projects. I was in charge of a calcined petroleum coke project called Goa Carbon at Madgaon at that time. So it was a very important execution work, which I could not go away for 1 month. But when I insisted and repeatedly requested my resident engineer on two conditions, he gave me permission. He said, one, you are going without pay. We will not give you any payment. Secondly, our chief engineer is going abroad at that time. Before the moment he returns, I will send you a telegram. You have to come. Whether it is 15 days or 20 days or 25 days, I cannot assure you. The moment he returns, you will get a telegram and you must come and join immediately. So I agreed for both the conditions and I went. I had a wonderful experience, month-long summer course. Swami every day was giving divine discourse on Ramayana. There were very, very eminent speakers talking to us. Every Sunday, Swami will talk to us in Vrindavan, in Sai Ram Shed when we go for darshan. A beautiful experience. And on the 24th or 25th day, I received a telegram from my resident engineer saying, our chief engineer has come, you report for duty immediately. I did not send a telegram back, respond. I didn't know what to do. In a matter of one day, I received 3 telegrams. And next day morning, I got a final telegram saying disciplinary action will be taken against you if you don't report, and reconfirm by telegram. That day, I was very emotional sitting in the Vrindavan auditorium at Vrindavan, Bangalore. I became very emotional. Every day, before Swami's divine discourse or after divine discourse of Bhagavan, there will be a great musician. He will be singing some Bhakti Sangeet. That day was the turn of Sri Purushottam Das Jalota. You all might have heard about him because he was from Bombay. Sri Anup Jalota's father. That day he was performing, doing Bhakti Sangeet. And that day's bhajan, I will never forget in my life. And he sang, that bhajan was something like this. Prabhala prema ke pale padkar, Prabhala prema ke pale padkar, Prabhu ko niyam badalte dekha, Prabhu ko niyam badalte dekha, apna maan tale tal jaye, Bhakta ka maan na talte dekha, Bhakta ka maan na talte dekha. I hope I need not translate it because it is in Hindi. It just said that if you have an intense devotion for Bhagavan, he will do anything for you. And he will see that your prestige is not affected. Nothing will happen. He will take care, even if he will lose his precious name. I took a great resolve. I decided I will not go. Come what may, whatever may happen, let it happen. I just went out of that auditorium, took out all the 4 or 5 telegrams I had received, tore them and put them in the dustbin. So the summer course was over, 30 days completed. Swami gave us lunch to all the students and the participants. And that day, while I was sitting near that Saraswati outside the hostel of Vrindavan, Swami came to me and said, what is the program? Swami said, going back tomorrow. No, come to Parthi. Your father-in-law is here. You come with him to Parthi. So I went to Prashanti Nilayam. I said, anyway, my job is gone. Nothing to worry. So I went to Prashanti Nilayam next day. Swami called us in the afternoon. I said, you have to do a small work for me. I said, what, Swami? Please tell me. He sent me off to Manipal in South Canara district near Mangalore. Manipal is a hub of lot big educational institutions. You all must be knowing. So Swami sent me on a work to Manipal. I said, anyway, my job has gone, so nothing to worry. Whatever Swami says, let me do that. I went to Manipal, then I attended to whatever instructions Swami had given, then came back to my native place, went back to Prashanti Nilayam, reported to Swami. And finally, after 1.5 months, I went back to Goa, to my head office. And I was to meet my chief engineer to hand over my resignation. Suddenly, before meeting the chief engineer, I met the administrative officer who was coming out of chief engineer's room. He just, Mr. Dhakappa, you are sitting here, come. And he took me up on the next floor, upper floor, to his office. He said, where are you? What happened and all that? I said, anyway, don't ask me all that, because they will not understand what summer course is, what Swami is, and all that. I said, this is my resignation letter. Please hand it to the chief engineer and please accept it. I want to go back. He said, no, don't worry. We have told a lie to the chief engineer that you have already reported to the new project and you are working there. And this is your salary check also. He took out a cover and gave it to me. So entire 1.5 months, the salary was paid to me. I was sent to the new projects. Nobody asked me any questions. This is what Swami did. I always remember Swami says, you do what I say, I will take care of everything. And when you especially in instructions given by Swami, and it is for a spiritual cause, it is for a good cause, it is for your own transformation, Swami will always stand by me. And the final moment of that summer course, Mr. Karanjia came and all that. I've explained this many times before. I would not like to go into it. He said that if you awaken your Kundalini, you become God and all that. But Swami that day in his divine discourse, he said, I will speak about Kundalini. He spoke about all that and said, I am giving all of you a very simplest and very, very easy spiritual sadhana to be followed. Don't go after Kundalini. Don't go after any of these spiritual practices, because nobody is there to teach you properly. You will have adverse effect. So he said, working in Satyasai Seva organizations is the best, most simple and effective spiritual sadhanas that one can undertake. So this was the reason that I joined Satyasai Seva organizations immediately after the summer course in 1978. And that is how my career with Satyasai organizations began. In 1981, Bhagwan sent word through the then state president, Dr. M.V. Keshav Rao, asking me to shoulder the responsibility of the district president. I did not know anything. I was new to the organization, but I accepted the command of Swami. And every time Swami used to tell me, you do, leave it to me. I am doing the work on your behalf. I am there with you all the time. I will take care of it. In 86, Swami made me the state trust member. There are a lot of experiences, but I would not like to go into the details because of the paucity of time. But one significant thing Swami guided me was in 1985, when Bhagwan's 60th birthday was under celebrations, a lot of activities, 3 years intense activities were undertaken by Satyasai organizations. One of them was the adoption of 600 villages across India. And we had adopted one village in my native town, Sirsi. And I wanted to create a Seva center, service center for Swami there. And that time our concept was Sai Mandir. So I went to Swami. I met, Swami called me and I said, what is the matter? Swami said, Swami, adopted village, I want to do a Sai Mandir. Bhagwan said, Bangaru, don't call it Sai Mandir. If you are doing it in a village, you call it as Satyasai Grama Seva Kendra. And if you are doing it in a town, Satyasai Seva Kshetra. This name were given to me by Swami, and that first Satyasai Gram Seva Kendra was started in 1985 as Bhagwan's direction and blessings. Needless to say, in the introduction, my brother has already explained to me, when I became state president, I had the great privilege and blessings from Swami to start Satyasai Seva Kshetras across India, state of Karnataka. There were almost 87 Satyasai Seva Kshetras, and I can go on narrating one story for each of the Seva Kshetras. Unbelievable miracles that Swami blessed us with. Every Seva Kshetra, I have a story to narrate. And finally, I wish to mention in Swami's 90th birthday in 2018, just before 2019, I started in Satyasai Seva Kshetra in my native town, which is still under construction and getting completed. Because that is the only place, my native place, Sirsi, where I could not set up a Seva Kshetra, because many of the time I tried, Swami used to say no, he did not give clearance. Finally, that Seva Kshetra probably Swami wanted me to initiate in the end, my own native place, which is now coming to a final stage. Maybe within next 6 months, we are going to inaugurate that Seva Kshetra. Now, in 1988, Bhagwan wanted me to shoulder the responsibility as the state president. I was only 37, 38, and I had in fact gone to Vrindavan to seek Swami's guidance for my final blessings for my sister's marriage and Swami's directions. But that day, in the morning, after 3 days of stay at Prashanti Nilayam, I was going back because Swami had already cleared that outside only. He spoke to me what all to be done, and the dates also he blessed for my sister's marriage. And then next day I was leaving back for Bangalore. Those days there used to be only one bus coming from Prashanti Nilayam to Bangalore, which will leave at 9:45 from Prashanti Nilayam, Puttaparthi to Bangalore. So I always used to love sitting in the Prashanti Mandir during the bhajan session, which is between 9 and 9:30. Those days, there were no students attending the bhajan in the morning. So we could sit right in front behind the 2 lines of bhajan singers in the mandir. So that day also I went and sat, and Swami kept looking at me continuously during the bhajan session. Once the bhajan ended, Swami got up, took the arati, gave a beautiful smile and walked away. I didn't know what happened. I felt it was Swami's blessings. When I came out to the bhajan mandir to go to the bus stand, my sister had already gone to the bus stand waiting for me in the bus. The three elderly gentlemen, devotees of Bhagwan, one was Sri Gopal Rao, who was the former chairman of the Andhra Bank, Sri Hejmadi, who worked in the central office at Prashanti Nilayam, former conservator of forest of the state of Karnataka, and Dr. Advi Reddy, who was also stationed in Prashanti Nilayam at that time. Three gentlemen were waiting for me. They said, "You are Mr. Dhakappa, we want to talk to you." And they took me to the central office and wanted me to talk to me, and then started a small interview. I said, "Look, sir, I have to go. I have to catch a bus and I'm going back to Bangalore." They said, "No, Swami has specifically asked us to talk to you. And Swami wants you to become the state president of Karnataka." I was terribly nervous. I was very young. I was inexperienced. And I believed that I could not shoulder that responsibility. I refused point blank. And I said, no, I cannot handle it. But then they said, "You wait till afternoon. After Bhagwan, we talk to Bhagwan Baba, then only you leave. Till then you don't leave." So they sent message to the bus station to get my sister back, and I had to stay back at Puttaparthi. Afternoon, when they spoke to Swami, Swami called me in and spoke to me at length. And finally, I expressed my own apprehensions to Swami, and he answered every single apprehensions of mine. He assured me, "I will get the work done through you. You only accept it." And finally, at my reluctance, as usual, he suddenly becomes stern. "Tell me, you will accept my order or not? Tell me whether you will take up this responsibility." I had no choice. I just fell at Swami's lotus feet, and he blessed me, guided me what all to be done. And believe me, brothers and sisters, at every instance subsequently, in every project, everything I did, Swami's presence was always felt. He was always with me. He is with me even today as I shoulder whatever little responsibility I handle as the trustee of the Satya Sai Trust Karnataka or as a member of the Satya Sai Global Council. He even today guides me and blesses me. I feel his divine presence along with me even today. Now, during my state presidentship, he in fact guided me in three ways. One was my activities in the Karnataka state. There were many districts which were not represented by the state organization. I could travel extensively to nooks and corners of Karnataka state, start bhajan mandalis, start samitis, and start new units, so that Karnataka organization spread to every part of Karnataka state. It was only blessings of Swami. I could travel with every single mode available to me, whether it was a bus, train, or any other mode available to me at that time. Then secondly, in Prashanti Nilayam, in 1994, Swami blessed me to shoulder the responsibility of the All India Conference at Vrindavan. It was the first one of the All India Bal Vikas conferences. Swami insisted that I take care and the responsibility, entire responsibility of the conference. I didn't know at that particular time that in future I had to shoulder a lot of responsibility at Prashanti Nilayam during various world conferences, All India conferences, back-to-back youth conferences in 1997 and 2000, etc., and shoulder various responsibilities, be it the creation of temporary accommodations, creating infrastructure facilities, or whether arranging prasadams, decorations in Saikulvantal, everything, and a lot of responsibilities came my way, which I could shoulder to the satisfaction of Swami primarily, and to the satisfaction of all the office bearers, All India President and other office bearers. Then in Vrindavan also, Swami guided us, Swami inspired us to conduct a lot of Samuhika marriages, Samuhika Upanayinams and all that. I have a lot of experiences during this time, which will take probably a lot of time for me to share with all of you. But one incident I would like to definitely narrate. during 2005 mass marriages, Swami had asked us to arrange 75 couples and 75 couples. Swami, it was the 75th birthday of Bhagwan. We arranged the marriages and the couples. Entire that day, Swami was with us. He guided us. The marriages happened. And Swami asked me, commanded me to come with him with the Akshata bowl to bless all the participants. That day in the afternoon, when I went inside to report to Swami, Swami asked me one question. Your couples, lot of them were from the Lingayat community. And I was surprised. I said, Swami, yes. I said, Swami, how do you know? Swami laughed. What do you asked such a silly question. How do I know? When I was blessing them, I knew that most of them were wearing the linga in the dhoti inside. Inside the dhoti, they tie a lingam. So the Lingayat community in Karnataka, they don't tie the lingam in the neck or something. They tie it to their below the dhoti to the with a string to the near the stomach, just below the stomach. They will tie it. And Swami, in a hurry, although he was blessing it, so again, Swami showed his omnipresence, omniscience to me, that he knows, he is aware of everything. So such incidents I can narrate many. Always he kept on showing to us that his divine manifestations. Now, till 2011, there were so many things happened, but one most important thing I must share with you. In 1988, when Bhagwan became, Bhagwan made me the state president, there was an All India guidance camp, because that is the first time an All India president position was created. Shri G.V. Satyanarayan ji was the first All India president. So he had called all the state presidents, trust conveners to Prashanti Nilayam, and in the Prashanti Mandir, there was a guidance camp which was addressed by Bhagwan, and later on in the ashram, we had various meetings. That guidance camp, Swami gave 4 directions to all of us, which I shared in the recently conducted Samiti Conveners Conference, District Presidents Conference in Prashanti Nilayam. So the most important thing was 4 directions Swami gave. The first one was, Swami said, when people meet you, they should feel that they have met Sai Baba. So you should always conduct yourself in such a manner, then when people meet you, they should feel that they meet Sai Baba. See, it is such a tall order. The second instruction Swami gave, that Satyasai organizations is the greatest spiritual organizations of all the times. You should always conduct yourself to hold the prestige and dignity of these organizations. The third and most important, another most important instructions Bhagwan gave was, if you do mistake, I'll become small. That means during the course of our conducting our activities as a state president, as a district president, or as a Samiti convener, in any manner, when you conduct ourselves, we do a mistake, then the Swami's name will get spoiled. And we have no right to do that. And the last instruction Swami said, people in the society, they will keep on looking at you, how you conduct yourself, and you should always follow Swami's instruction and follow them implicitly. These are the instructions Swami gave. Though it was for the organization member, I think this instruction must be followed by the devotees at large, as also members of the various institutions in which Bhagwan's devotees are presently working. We must implicitly follow and keep this going on. Now, these were the main points that I wanted to share with you till Bhagwan's Mahasamadhi. Now, 2011, when Bhagwan's Mahasamadhi, I was in Prashanti Nilayam that time. It was a very, very sad and shocking moment for all of us. After Bhagwan's Mahasamadhi and all the rituals that happened there in 2011, April 25th, 26th, 27, we all came back. And brothers and sisters, for next fortnight or so, we just sat at home trying to remember things, remember Swami. I was not in a mood to do anything. We are not willing to take up any responsibility, do anything. Added to that, there was a lot of controversy in press, media, etc., etc. As a state president, I had to answer in Vrindavan or in Karnataka and all that. One thing I would like to, 2 points I would like to mention here. There was a bad publicity in the media that Bhagwan Baba used to wear gems and jewelry studded paduka he used to wear. It was found in the ashram and all that. There is nothing, there cannot be any bigger untruth than that. I remembered one incident which I have shared in many platforms later on. You see, what happened was when Swami had called us to resolve our problems way back in 1975-76, I had gone to Vrindavan with my family. That day, in the evening, it started raining in Vrindavan. And that day, it started raining and it was almost 5:36. It was becoming darker and all hopes of Swami coming out for darshan had vanished. Still, very few of us were waiting. By chance, Swami comes. We were waiting for Swami, knowing very well that Swami will not come because it was drizzling. The whole ground was slushy, and for Swami to walk up to Sai Ram shed was also very difficult. And when we were thinking of returning to Bangalore city, because we were staying in the city and traveling to the ashram, suddenly the main Vrindavan gate opened, doors opened. And we were shocked to see Swami slowly walking. And he came out. Brothers and sisters, Swami lifted his gown. And then in that slushy ground, he started walking very, 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 very slowly. I was shocked to see Swami walking on the slushy ground, thinking that Swami will slip or something will happen. And he was walking barefooted. And what he did, he came all the way to where we are sitting. He came to me and said, Bangaru, today is Ashtami. That's why I didn't call you for the interview. Tomorrow morning, I'll call you for the interview and talk. Okay, come prepared tomorrow. I'll talk to you. And he just turned and went back. Brothers and sisters, just to tell me this instruction, Swami need not have taken all the trouble and walked in that slushy ground and come all the way to the Sai Ram shed to tell me this. He could have very well called us next day straight away for the interview. See, such incidents, when really I get moved, even if I keep remembering this, tears roll down my eyes. He took so much trouble for us and what we have done for him. This we always remember with gratitude that his blessings, his grace. Another important thing that I would like to mention here, immediately thereafter, I started a lot of devotee conferences to see that the organizational devotees should be informed in a right manner about various things. But to my surprise and shock, I really felt that the grassroots devotees were very well intact and they were very well composed. Because most of the devotees who had only barely had one darshan of Swami, hardly had one Pad Namaskar of Swami, and who were already in the spiritual way of life, Swami's physical absence did not affect them because they knew the right sadhana. They always believed in the omnipresence of Swami and really they were always and they knew that the organizational activities, they will see Swami in every activity. Actually, brothers and sisters, I must mention here, the people who really were missing are the big devotees who were fighting with us to sit in the front row in ashram. They were the devotees really missing after the Mahasamadhi, not the grassroots level devotees, because they were all very firm devotees of Swami. They knew that their life will be sanctified by doing these activities, and they used to see Swami in the activities of the organization. Then one more most important thing that we started as I'm attending a Samarpan session, I remember immediately thereafter in 2011, we started 3 activities in Vrindavan. One was the Akhanda Bhajan by the members of the organization on first Sunday of the month. that we called it as Bhakti Bhavanandam. Second was along with the alumni Samarpan program. Now, subsequently after Bangalore, the Samarpan program has been started elsewhere in different centers now. And now today I'm attending the Samarpan session in Mumbai. And the third program that we started in Vrindavan was One with Sai. Initially, we started with because last two, this Samarpan and One with Sai, we started with the alumni of the Satya Sai institutions. And we had always had the apprehension, One with Sai, we may not get enough singers to come and sing. And we were not in a position to make payment to them, to all these singers when they come once in a month. But believe me, brothers and sisters, by Swami's grace and blessings, people, lot of singers and music groups were waiting in queue for almost 6 months to come and perform in Vrindavan for One with Sai. Our alumni brothers and sisters managed it in such a beautiful manner that but for Corona, it would never have got stopped. You know, every month, these 3 programs were going on very well. Another important activity that we could undertake was the Samakos. Swami in 2012, before 1 year got completed after the Swami's Mahasamadhi, he came in my dream and said, I still very distinctly remembered, I made you attend Samakos for 1 month. Now it is your duty to conduct a Samakos in Vrindavan. I got up with a third, and next day morning, I straight away went to Vrindavan. Sanjay Sahniji was the director of the campus there. I discussed with him. I said, why not we conduct the Samakos in jointly along with the university? And with Swami's blessings, the Vice Chancellor and other members of the Senate, they also approved. And we conducted Samakos for 5 days in Vrindavan auditorium for 1,000 young students from Karnataka. I can narrate to you almost for 1 hour so many experiences of Swami's presence. You know, how whatever we thought, and Swami made it happen. Whether it is giving ice cream to the participant or giving mangoes to the participant on the last day, or Mr. Bhotia, who is the custodian of the ashram, was very apprehensive of the water shortage. And even the Samakos ended, 1 full tank of water was available for Mr. Bhotia. At every step, we felt Swami's presence. Even funding, at the end of the Samakos, we still had 5 lakhs surplus left with us after meeting all the expenses. At every stage, we felt Swami's divine experiences and his divine presence we felt. Then we had a great opportunity to conduct All India National Retreat Program, National Bhajan Conference, All India District Presidents Conference, Vrindavan Bhajan Group Golden Jubilee, in which singers, composers of bhajans, of Satya Sai bhajans from across India participated. I have got a big list which I can go on and on and on. And finally, already this is almost 7:40. I would like to just narrate one single incident and want to close. We feel that Swami's physical presence is not there, but believe me, brothers and sisters, whenever we follow Swami's divine guidance, we follow his instructions, when we conduct ourselves in the way Swami has asked us to do it, he is always with us to guide us, be with us all the time. I will narrate one single incident before I conclude. In 2013-14, I could go to Indore. There was a national conference of Satya Sai schools which took place in Indore. As a state president, I had the opportunity to attend that conference. The conference took place in Satya Sai Vidya Vihar in Indore, one of the best Satya Sai schools in India today. And we were all staying in different lodges. They had made a beautiful arrangements for us to stay. And all the state presidents as conveners were staying in a particular lodge, which they had arranged for us. On the reception counter of that lodge, there was a beautiful photograph of Swami. They had a beautiful altar they had made, and there was a box kept there. I didn't know what box it was. The first day when I reached there, I saw a beautiful photo altar of Swami. I just did Namaskar, went to the room and all that. Next day, when we were leaving from the conference, we were all waiting for the transport to go to the conference venue. When the other colleagues who were standing next to me asked, what message did you get? I was surprised. I didn't understand what message. No, you have not seen that box. There is a messages for everybody. You just pray to Swami, pick up a chit, you will get a message. I said, no, I have never done this. I would not like to do. No, you do it, Mr. Dhakappa. Just see, we are all wonderstruck what messages we are getting. So because with little reluctance, I went and stood before that photograph of Bhagwan. I prayed to Swami, Swami, I don't know what message you will give me today. And I just prayed to him and picked up a chit. That chit said, why fear when I am here? Oh, very good. Swami, always Swami is to say that, why fear when I am here? But there was an additional sentence. Next line was there. Today, I will give you Pad Namaskar. Now, why fear when I am here is all right. Swami is omnipresent. He is with us. So I need not fear. He will take care of me. But how will he give me Pad Namaskar today? Anyway, I kept the chit in my pocket. I went, we all went to the conference venue. That day morning, we were supposed to have a discussion meeting with our All India President, Shri V. Srinivasan sir. He was the trustee of the Central Trust and All India President. And we were not to take part in the conference, but have a meeting with him. Because he took ill, that meeting got postponed and we were all waiting outside, standing outside in the hot sun because it was very chill there and just discussing. Brother Nimish Pandya, who is All India President, was also standing next to it. We were all together. Suddenly, one brother from Indore pulled me to the side, and his name is Amit Dubey, who is the state president now, president from Madhya Pradesh. He just pulled me to the side and said, Dhakappa sir, I have arranged a car for you. Ujjaini, where the Mahakaleshwar Jyotirlinga is 55 kilometers away, please go visit and come. I said, Amit, why you have arranged today? Tomorrow anyway, all of us are going, no? So I can go tomorrow. No, sir, I have arranged. I don't know why I arranged. You please go. So he literally pushed me into the car and sent me. And we went all the way to Ujjaini. And there they took me directly to the Sanctum Sanctorum. And when I knelt down, after the priest did some archana and all that, I knelt down and I had the privilege of touching that Atmalinga. Recently, our Prime Minister Modi ji, when he inaugurated the new complex, I remember this incident again. It was my privilege to touch that Jyotirlingam and do the Namaskara. I suddenly remembered, I will give you Pad Namaskar today. So it was such a moment for me. And I came back saying, see, the chit said, I'll give you Pad Namaskar today. And Swami took me to his own abode, Jyotirlingam, and gave me Pad Namaskar. The story did not end there. Next day, I was very, very enthusiastic. Brothers and sisters, this sentence is very important. Next day, probably I was the first to go and pick a chit there. So I went and stood, prayed to Swami, and picked up a chit. And that chit said, you might have passed through hundreds of births in your life, and you might have many more in your life. But to end this cycle of birth and death in me, this is your best opportunity. This was a message for me from Swami, how true it is, how beautiful it is. It is true not only for me, though I got that chit, it is true for each and every one of you. Swami, that chit said, you might have passed through hundreds of births, or you may have many more in future also. But to end this cycle of birth and death, this is your best opportunity. I always remember one sentence which Kasturiji has written in his autobiography, Loving God. It said, I was born once again in this world to learn how not to be born again and again. Brothers and sisters, with divine blessings of Bhagwan, with his grace of Bhagwan, we have the beautiful opportunity to end this cycle of birth and death. This opportunity we probably never got, we never know whether we'll get it in future or not. This is our best opportunity. Let us not waste this. Let us make full use of this opportunity. With these words, I have taken a lot of time, but I will not do justice because a lot of things which I would have otherwise narrated, many more things I had to miss. But anyway, I am very happy that I could share this few things with you all. And I pray, Swami, on behalf of myself and behalf of all of you, Swami, please continue to shower your grace and blessings on all of us so that we redeem our life, because this human birth is very precious. because of our past meritorious, many meritorious lives in the past, you have given us this human birth. You have taken us very close to you, all of you. And today we are under your divine umbrella. So let us not waste this opportunity and make full use of it. With these few words, once again, I thank Sai Students Mumbai for this great opportunity. Thank you and Jai Sai Ram.
Sai Ram, sir. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts and wonderful words with all of us. These are true, the experiences of true devotee. In fact, as I was listening, I really felt that this was a love story not between Bhagwan and his devotee, but a father and son.
Yes.
And if you look at the entire journey, even if a father, he would hand over a part of the family business to the son. He gave you the entire responsibility of the state of Karnataka, which you have shouldered so well for such a long time. So one question related to that, sir, if I may ask you, is that what motivated you to continue the organization work in his absence, in Bhagwan's absence? And what other guidelines from Swami have you received which you could pass on to the new generation of Sai Sevaks, people who may have never seen Bhagwan, especially the youth today who may have never interacted with Bhagwan? What message from Swami can you share with them?
Yeah, I'll share with you. As I mentioned, after the Mahasamadhi, both myself and my wife were shattered. For 15 days, we were sitting in the same apartment where I am now talking from. We kept crying, weeping all the time. Suddenly, one day, we recoup ourselves. And my wife said, there is no point in sitting like this. Swami entrusted with you the responsibility. You have to carry on. You have to do your work. We were just discussing amongst ourselves. And suddenly we saw on the balcony of our house, on the living room balcony, 2 sparrows came and sat. I am living in this apartment for last 17 years. I moved in year 2005, very near to the ashram with blessings of Bhagwan. And that is also a big story how Swami blessed me to take this apartment. Anyway, I have never seen a sparrow before or after that incident. And the moment both myself and my wife looked at those 2 sparrows, they looked amongst themselves and flew away. So we felt Swami in his Shiva Shakti Swarupa blessed both of us, and that I must continue. I composed myself, I resolved myself, I must carry on. And immediately I called a meeting of the district presidents, my state coordinators. I said, we are going to conduct devotee conferences across Karnataka. And I traveled to different places, talking to devotees, talking to people, and I continued. Now, one very valid question you have asked. We had the privilege of having Swami physically guiding us. But the next generation who have not seen Swami, they have not, experienced this. I always remember in 1988 when Shirdi Baba took Samadhi, there were very few devotees in Shirdi. But subsequently, today, Shirdi is a big pilgrimage centers with lakhs and millions of devotees come there. Same thing will happen in Prashanti Nilayam because Baba will continue to inspire people, meeting them in his own way, guiding them in the dreams or by their presence or by his manifestations. It will continue to happen. But the most relevant thing, difference between the Shirdi avatar and Satya Sai avatar, there is a lot of Swami's guidance, teachings available to us through the archives, through the videos, through now with technology. If you see the Satya Sai Media Center, they bring out so many of these incidents, devotee experiences. They're very inspiring for the new devotees. By listening to them, the most important thing in Swami's mission, what I felt is implementing Swami's teachings in our own lives, bringing about the transformation. I used to feel very sad because Swami initially had told me to conduct a lot of training programs, bhajan training programs, Bal Vikas training programs, Sevadala training programs, which I conducted hundreds of training programs. But the end of it, I used to get disillusioned because only 10% of the people will come to the organization, then 90% will go away. I used to get delusioned why we should conduct and why results are not there. And suddenly one day Swami made me aware, his voice, he told me, You fool, you don't understand. In doing all these activities, I'm interested in the transformation in you more than anything else. So this is most important. When somebody does a seva, as alumni, I remember alumni of Bangalore used to conduct medical camps for several years. But what used to happen is they would conduct outside and a group of students, and then they were not able to conduct in a very effective manner because they were not able to collect more money because in cash funds were not coming or checks. After Mahasamadhi, they wanted to do it in the ashram, and along with the organization, I requested them to open an account in the state trust. We made it available. So Satyasai Trust, we opened a dedicated account. We gave them for the alumni for the medical camp. I'm very happy to share with you. After that, today, alumni, boys and girls from across India and abroad are contributing to that account. And medical camp is going on very effectively month after month. And they have a lot of surplus funds. See, why I'm sharing these experiences is in every state, the alumni, the Satyasai organization and Satyasai Trust should work hand in hand. This is my earnest feeling.
Got it. The next question is that you spoke about total obedience to Bhagwan after the Goa incident. How do we cultivate? I mean, those of us who have probably not experienced Bhagwan, how do we cultivate this implicit obedience at all times, never wavering from his word?
See, I feel that Swami's teachings are available to us. For every occasion, what are the teachings? And Swami always used to say, I am within you. See, what happens is when we do a mistake, what happens? Outwardly, somebody confronts you with a mistake. You try to justify. No, I didn't do this mistake. I didn't do that. I didn't do this. You close down your eyes, ask for yourself. A voice within you speaks to you, say, no, you have done a mistake. Swami always used to say, listen to this. That is your conscience. You should listen to that voice. You will never do a mistake. And Swami has given us a beautiful sadhana in Satyasai organization. That is a individual sadhana, family sadhana, and community sadhana. See, I always narrate these instances right from beginning in the small, when you get up in the morning. Swami has taught even Balvika's children, we tell them, you Karagre, Vasati, Lakshmi, with that we start our day. Finally, at the end of the day, we say, Karacharana Kritamva, all the mistakes, please forgive me. During the day, in all circumstances, whether it is in your family life, or whether it is in your individual life or professional life, or in organizational life, whatever you do, if you firmly believe Swami is with you, he is watching you, then you will never do a mistake. If you have time, I can share a beautiful experience of mine.
Yes, please.
I happened to meet a chairman of a nationalized bank in Bangalore. He was posted to that bank because that bank was in doldrums. It was a nationalized bank. Please don't ask me to tell the name. He came to Bangalore. He was in charge as the chairman of that bank. Okay, I happened to meet him on an occasion along with a client of mine. He was wearing a beautiful ring of Bhagwan. So it is a trademark ring. So I have asked him, sir, you are a devotee of Bhagwan Baba? The moment I said that, he was saying, how do you know Baba? I said, I am so and so, sir. I am state president. Oh, then he started telling his experiences, how he was in some other bank and he had some heart problem. Bhagwan created some yellow powder, like a vibhuti, gave him, and he got cured and all that. He's narrated his experiences. But the most important thing is, I asked him, sir, now you have got such a responsibility. How do you handle? He said, on my table in the office, I have kept a Baba's beautiful photograph in which Swami looks into my eyes. That photo you all would have seen. Swami is sternly looking in with, focused look into your eyes. I keep it on my table wherever I go. Every paper I sign, every decision I take, whatever I do, I look at Baba. I talk to him. Swami, am I doing the right thing? Am I doing the just thing? Whether I am handling the things, whatever action I am taking, is it in the beneficial to the institution? he will talk to Swami and take action. That is the way I operate, he said. Oh, I said, all the best, sir. Swami will take care of you, guide and all that. Almost after 6 months, I met him in a wedding reception, a devotee's wedding reception. The moment he saw me, he recognized me, he took me to the side and said, how are you, sir? And all that. I spoke to him. He said, Mr. Dhakappa, do you have shares of our bank? I said, no, sir, I don't have. You buy immediately. We are going to declare dividend this year. You see, his modus operandi was, he used to talk every small thing he did. He used to talk to Swami and Swami used to guide him. He used to get inspired. See, that is the way. If we are really keep our heart pure, that is when Swami installs himself there. He guides us. And as long as we are not doing injustice, we are not doing a bad thing, we are not doing a wrong thing, success is guaranteed. I think I have answered your question because yes. I always remember him, chairman. He was not there for long. He later on moved to some other bank in Tamil Nadu and all that. I used to meet him many times later also I met him. Yeah.
Yes, I think you've answered the next question, because the next question was what practice should we, what practices should we follow to stay in tune with Swami? I think this is the simplest and easiest way to talk to Swami, as if, of course he is present.
Entire day, in everything that you do, you feel that Swami is looking at you, Swami is watching you, whether you are doing the right thing.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Yeah. Sir, with your permission, I would now like to, just pass this on to Shri Nimesh Pandya ji, the All India President. If he would like, he logged in at the very start of the meeting and he's, I'm sure, listening to you. Nimesh uncle, if you are here, we would love if you could share some words with us.
I'm very happy that Nimesh Bhai is listening.
Sai Ram, Nagesh.
Sai Ram, Nimesh Bhai.
I must say, so much to learn. And you know that I have started my career with your family right in Vrindavan, and listening to you has been such a reinforcing for me, though I'm much younger to you and though I'm the All India President, but there is so much to learn from your experience and it's been really exhilarating. Kamla and I both have been listening to you very intently, and I must tell all the viewers that I have been a great fan of Nagesh, and the way he functions, the way he does, his entire association with the organization has been a great inspiration for me personally in many, many ways. And even today, when I have a reference point, he as a great elder brother is a great reference point for me in many of the aspects of the organization that we function. And I endorse his view that there is great enthusiasm for us and all of us to go further. And this is the birth, the only chance to get out of this cycle. And I think this is the golden opportunity. And I think I really take it from him that he is the doer, the Lord is the master, he's the doer. And just surrendering to him is the easiest way to live life in every aspect. I love the two sparrows. I think we should thank the two sparrows for encouraging Nagesh back on the track. And I think it's a great feeling. And as a member and my colleague on the National Council, it's a great experience to be with him. Nagesh, thank you very much. It's been a great, great experience. And every word that you've said, and especially the 4 points that Swami told you, I think you've been repeating everywhere, wherever you get a chance. And I think we'll all together once again repeat it all over wherever we go, henceforth also, because that is the ultimate truth, I think. I think it's been a great experience. Thank you, Nagesh. Thank you very much. So kind of you. Thank you. Sai Ram.
Sai Ram, uncle. Thank you so much. I think you beautifully brought out the points that we want to highlight. So we bring this wonderful session to a close, and with our heartfelt gratitude to Bhagwan for making this happen on the auspicious eve of Diwali. To probably summarize some of the things that Sir has shared with us, I think like it was pointed out earlier, the lesson of total obedience to Bhagwan. And, Bhagwan himself saying that if we follow him implicitly and listen to what he says, the Navagrahas will never affect us. Like even he told Kasturi Garu, and it's shared in his autobiography, that when you have my Anugraha, the Navagrahas cannot affect you. So it is probably one lesson for all of us to, be worthy recipients of his Anugraha through obeying him implicitly. And the second thing is, like Bhagwan said, we are all on his time frame. We are all marching according to the beat of his drum. And therefore, it is our privilege and blessing to make the most of this opportunity. And I think the biggest lesson is that the only time we have is now. The only time we have under our control is now. And we should grab this opportunity with both hands, with humility and gratitude, to make our way back to him. So thank you, sir. Thank you very much for sharing your wonderful experience with us. A lot of incidents you said that we don't have enough time, and therefore I know that if we invite you once again, you already have a another treasure box of treasure chest of more experiences, lessons, and insights to share with all of us. With that thought, thank you. And once again, our humble gratitude to Bhagwan for making this session possible. Om Shri Sai.